Let us see the operation of the transformer under load conditions. This is the core of the transformer. This is primary winding, which is connected to the alternating voltage. This is secondary winding, which is connected to the load. This is load. Now let's see the operation of the transformer. The winding which is connected to the AC supply is called primary winding. The winding which is connected to the load is called secondary winding. Now, whenever we are giving AC supply to the primary winding, due to this AC supply, the current will flow through this winding. And due to that current, some flux will be produced in the primary winding, and that flux will flow in the core and links with the secondary winding also. This is the main flux. Why I am calling it as main flux? Two more fluxes will also be produced, so that's why I am calling it as main flux now. So listen carefully. This is flux phi. This phi is the main flux here. So due to this alternating nature of the flux, we have d phi by dt. Flux is varying with respect to time. That means it is alternating. So whenever the flux is alternating and it is flowing in the winding conductor, then according to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, EMF will be induced in the primary winding, and that EMF is a self-induced EMF. Let us assume it as E1. And the same flux will also links with the secondary, and again due to mutual induction, why? Because we are not giving the supply directly to the secondary winding, we are giving supply to the primary winding. So due to the excitation of the first coil, we are getting EMF in the second coil. Then this EMF is called mutually induced EMF, E2. Now the secondary winding terminals are connected to load. So we have a voltage, and now this is the closed circuit. So due to this voltage E2, a current will circulate in the secondary winding. Let it be I2. Secondary current is not equal to 0 here. If it is open circuit, the secondary winding terminals are left open, then the secondary current is equal to 0. But here the load is connected, so the current will flow through the secondary winding. So that is I2 current. Now from here onwards, you have to listen carefully. Because of this current, now the current I2 is flowing in the secondary winding. Because of this current, again some flux will be produced. Whenever there is a current, there will be a magnetic flux. There is the Oersted principle, right? Oersted proven experimentally. So we have current I2 now. I2 current is flowing in the secondary circuit. So due to this I2 current, a flux phi 2 will be produced. Assume the flux produced due to this current is phi 2, and that flux phi 2 will also flow in the core, but that is exactly in opposition with the main flux. This is the direction of phi. Now the flux produced due to this current is flowing in the core, and that is in opposite direction to the main flux. This is your phi 2. This is main flux phi and this is phi 2. Now what will happen? The two fluxes are in opposite direction. One is phi and this is phi 2. These two are in opposite. So whenever the two fluxes are in opposite direction, automatically the resultant flux gets decreased. The total flux or resultant flux gets decreased in the core. Why this phi 2 is opposing this flux phi? Because of Lenz's law. Always the effect opposes the cause. Why we are getting phi 2? Because of this current I2. Why we are getting I2 here? Because of this induced EMF E2. Why we are getting E2? Because of this flux. So that's why this phi 2 will opposes the cause producing it. This is according to Lenz's law. Okay, now the resultant flux got reduced. So whenever the resultant flux reduced, what will happen? The induced EMF in primary winding E1 will also reduces. This induced EMF will reduce. Why? Because the resultant flux is decreasing. Magnitude of the induced EMF depends on rate of change of flux linkages only. If the flux decreases, it is proportional to d phi by dt. If the flux decreases, this EMF will also decrease, the induced EMF. So then immediately, whenever this induced EMF in the primary reduces, this V1 will increase. These two will be in opposition. We had seen this in the phasor diagram also. If V1 is in this direction, E1 will be exactly in the opposite direction. So V1 and E1 both are in opposition. So whenever this induced EMF E1 starts reducing, this V1 start increasing. For a moment, the V1 will increase, the main voltage. So if voltage increases, the current drawn by the primary will also increases. Therefore, again some more additional flux will be produced in the transformer due to this increase in voltage. This total current, assume it as I1, total primary current. That I1 is the sum of I0 plus I1 dash. I0 means, suppose if you didn't connect any load here, so in that condition the transformer draws this current I0, no load primary current. Now whenever you are connecting a load, now what is happening here? Due to this process, the current, primary current increased. Some additional current it draws from the supply. That is called I1 dash here. So the total primary current is the sum of I0 plus I1 dash. And now due to this additional current I1 dash, again some flux will be produced. And that flux, assume it as phi 1 dash. This flux is phi 1 dash. This will be in opposition with a phi 2. So transformer will draw an additional current that is sufficient to cancel out this phi 2 dash. So whatever the flux produced phi 1 dash, that will be equal in magnitude with this phi 2 and opposite in direction. Therefore, these two fluxes will get cancelled with each other. Only the main flux remains in the transformer. So that's why this transformer is also called constant flux device. Irrespective of the load, whether the load is increased or decreased, the transformer maintains its flux constant in the core. Have you understand anything? Or shall I repeat?
అర్థమైంది.
So once again I am repeating, listen carefully. Suppose initially the load is not connected here. That means no load condition. Under no load condition, the transformer draws a current I naught. That is no load primary current I naught. So whenever you are connecting load, current I2 will flow through in the secondary circuit. So due to this I2 current, again flux will be produced, that is phi 2. And that flux phi 2 will be in opposition with main flux. Therefore, resultant flux gets reduced. Why? Because these two are in opposite. So difference. So if we have to take the difference of the two. Therefore, the resultant flux gets reduced. So if the resultant flux reduced, this E1 will reduce. Why? Because this E1 depends on rate of change of flux linkages. If the resultant flux decreased, then this E1 will also decrease. But E1 and V1, these two are always in opposition with each other. Whenever this E1 decreased, this V1 should be increased. Those two are opposite always, according to Lenz law. This one. Why this phi 2 is opposing phi? Because of Lenz law. The main cause to produce this phi 2 is this phi. So that's why this cause opposes the, this effect opposes the cause. Here also, E1 is the effect. For this effect, the cause is V1. That's why according to Lenz law, this E1 always opposes V1. So whenever this E1 reduces, even V1 will increase. The main supply voltage will increase for a moment. So due to this increase in voltage, your current voltage will, if V1 increase, current is directly proportional. So current will also increase. So therefore, the transformer, in addition to this no load current, whenever you connect a load, it draws an additional current, assume it as I1 dash, because of the load. If you increase the load again, then some more additional current will be drawn. So that additional current, we are assuming it as I1 dash. So due to this I1 dash, again some flux will be produced. That flux, we are assuming it as phi 1 dash. The flux produced due to this additional current is phi 1 dash. Now this phi 1 dash will be in opposition, equal and opposite to phi 2. These two magnitudes are equal but opposite in direction. So this is phi 1 dash. You can observe the directions of phi 1 dash and phi 2. These two are exactly in opposition but equal in magnitude. So that's why those two will get cancelled with each other. Only the main flux will remain in the transformer. Suppose I just remove this load and I connected one more load here, more than the previous one. Then what will happen? Based on that load, again the transformer primary will draw additional current. Whatever the requirement of the load current here, load current may be 10 amperes or 50 amperes. Based on this current, the transformer primary will draw the additional current. If the load current is 10 amperes, this additional current may be 10 amperes. If the load current is 50 amperes, the additional current may be 50 amperes. So based on the load current, the transformer will draw extra current from the primary. So therefore, it can maintain the flux in the core constant. So transformer is also called a constant flux device. Now primary current in the transformer is equal to primary current I1 is equal to I0 plus I1 dash. This is the equation for the primary current under loaded condition. I0 is the no load component of the current plus I1 dash is the additional current drawn by the transformer under loaded conditions.